Alright guys, this is Nordrammus here. Now I've got to apologise for not making a video for a couple of days. I've been kind of ill, I've just caught a cold, nothing serious. And you may still be able to hear it in my voice a little bit. But that being said, let's get on with the video. Now I got a lot of good comments and feedback on my first lore video, top 5 champion lores in League of Legends. And I thought, well, as the assassin update has recently come out, I thought some of you guys might want to know where some of the assassins came from. So that's what I'm bringing you today. I'm bringing you my personal top 5 favourite assassin champion lores in League of Legends. Now there is going to be one small omission here. Honestly, Rengar is my favourite assassin story by far, but I did use him in another video, so I'm actually going to leave him out of this one and just focus on my top 5 favourite ones after Rengar essentially. So you could almost think of this as like a top 6 list if you want to go back and read the Rengar one. Anyway guys, let's get on with my list. So coming in at number 5, we've got Nidalee, the bestial huntress. There are few dwellers, let alone champions, residing in the blasted, dangerous lands that lie south of the Great Barrier. Much of that world still bears the scars of past rune wars, especially the mysterious Kumungu jungle. There are long forgotten treasures in these strange places, which many risk life and limb to acquire. Nidalee was only a young girl travelling with her treasure-seeking parents, and they lost their way in the dense, rainy jungles. The jungle was unforgiving, and she watched her parents suffer agonizing final days as they fell victim to a mysterious and vicious disease. As improbable as it was for a child to survive in the inhospitable jungle by herself, she did just that. Her youthful innocence and unfortunate naivety caused her to appeal to the beasts of that place, and she was taken in by a family of cougars and raised as one of their own. She grew and somehow absorbed the raw magic of the dense wilds, evolving beyond both her human physiology and her feline affectation. Now a fierce, nigh mythical predator, Nidalee battled viciously, tooth and nail, against any who would threaten the vast jungle that she calls home. Coming in at number 4, I've got Fizz. Centuries ago, an ancient water-dwelling race built a hidden city beneath a mountain in the sea. Though these creatures had their enemies, the city was an impenetrable fortress, and, in the safety it provided, they grew complacent. Fizz, however, harboured a curious spirit that could not be satisfied living so cushioned a life. Unable to resist the allure of danger, Fizz had a habit of sneaking out of the city to look for trouble. In his many adventures, he grew to be a powerful fighter with a keen resourcefulness that let him skirt danger with clever ease. One day, Fizz returned to find the city abandoned. His people had vanished, leaving Fizz without a clue to explain their disappearance. With nothing left in the city to keep him, Fizz salvaged an enchanted trident from the ruins and set out alone. For years, Fizz wandered the ocean, using the skills he learned during his adventures as a young boy to survive. Finally, Fizz discovered the port of Bilgewater. He was fascinated with the existence of life above the water and could not resist exploring the island. In his endless curiosity, Fizz inadvertently meddled in the affairs of the humans who lived there, and his presence did not go unnoticed. His mischief angered many residents, who eventually sought to capture or kill Fizz. He found himself cornered, and he prepared to return to the sea despite the fondness he'd come to hold for Bilgewater. As he stood at the docks, a massive dragon shark attacked the port. Fizz defeated the beast, using his resourcefulness and knowledge of the creature's weaknesses to his advantage. Having earned the gratitude and respect of the humans, Fizz decided to stay in Bilgewater. He joined the League of Legends to further serve his new home. So coming in at number 3, I've put Zed, the Master of Shadows. As an orphan, Zed was taken in and trained by a great ninja master. Only one other student appeared to be Zed's equal, the master's son, Shen. It seemed Zed could never win the favour of the master, as every match between the rivals ended in a draw. Frustrated and jealous, he sought an advantage. The young ninja ventured into a sealed part of the clan's temple, where he found an ornate and foreboding box. Sensing the dark knowledge within, Zed knew he should not open it, but he peered inside nonetheless. In an instant, shadows touched his mind, revealing techniques that had long been hidden. Now armed with a secret edge, he challenged Shen, and this time he defeated the master's son. He expected praise and recognition in this moment of victory, but somehow the master knew Zed had used forbidden ways and banished him. Humiliated, the young ninja wandered for years. His bitterness turned into ambition, and he began to train others in the style of the shadows. As his power grew, so did his circle of followers, but he knew that without that box, his technique could never be perfect. One day, Zed looked at his followers and saw that his students were now an army. He led them back to the original temple to claim his prize. At the gates, he was surprised to find the old master waiting, receiving Zed and his disciples as if they were welcome guests. The old man laid his sword at Zed's feet, declaring that he had failed Zed as his master. By banishing his former student, the master had doomed Zed to the shadows. Instead of leading him back to the balanced path, the old man implored Zed to enter the temple, destroy the box, and lead his followers to balance. The Dark Ninja followed the master inside. Moments later, the assembled ninjas heard Zed cry out in pain. Mysteriously, he emerged unscathed and threw the severed head of the master at Shen's feet. Screaming in rage, Zed commanded his followers to slaughter the master's students and seize the box. That day, the old ninja order fell. Though many students died, some escaped thanks to Shen's heroic efforts. Now the temple is a dark training ground for the Order of the Shadow. Zed rules as the Order's master, and his edict is simple: perfect one's technique and kill all ninjas who refuse to embrace the shadows. Coming in at number 2 on this list, I put Nocturne, the Eternal Nightmare. Before Nocturne, people believed that dreams were merely figments of their imagination, meaningless images that flashed through the mind when one slept. This belief was put to the test, however, when a rash of sleep-related incidents started afflicting summoners of the League. Some would wake up screaming, terrified and beyond consolation. Some could not fall asleep, slowly going mad as the nights ticked by. Some simply never woke up. Physicians were baffled until a field architect happened to pass out next to a nexus upon twisted tree line. Witnesses said he cried out once and then stopped breathing. Immediately after, magical energy arced out from the nexus, and Nocturne appeared. Nocturne did not take his introduction to the world kindly. He slaughtered everything he could find before summoners were able to magically confine him. After a period of intense study, League experts divined that Nocturne hunted summoners in their sleep, attacking them in a place where their magic was useless. This seemed to be his only purpose. The families of the victims demanded justice, but League officials were concerned that death might only return Nocturne to the place from which he came. They bound him to a nexus fragment, trapping him in the physical world. As punishment for his crimes, they allowed summoners to call upon Nocturne in the League of Legends matches, bending his will to the summoners he hates and creating his own personal nightmare. League scholars don't know whether he truly came from the plane of dreams, or whether there are any more like him. Some theorize that the summoning act affected summoners' subconscious minds, luring Nocturne to them in their sleep. Perhaps the most disturbing theory is that Nocturne is a person's nightmare come to life. If this is true, they wonder, who is the dreamer? Now, coming in at number 1, this has got to be my favourite assassin lore out of all the assassins in the League. That is going to be Shaco, the Demon Jester. Most would say that death isn't funny. It isn't, unless you're Shaco, and then it's hysterical. He is Valorant's first fully functioning homicidal comic. He jests until someone dies, and then he laughs. The figure that has come to be known as a Demon Jester is an enigma. No one fully agrees from whence he came, and Shaco never offers any details of his own. A popular belief is that Shaco is not of Runeterra, that he is a thing summoned from the dark and twisted world. Still others believe that he is a demonic manifestation of humanity's dark urges, and therefore cannot be reasoned with. The most plausible belief is that Shaco is just an assassin for hire, left to his own lunatic devices until his services are needed. Shaco certainly has proven himself to be a cunning individual, evading authorities every turn he might seek him for questioning for some horrendous law-breaking atrocity. While such scuttlebutt might reassure the native inhabitants of Valorant, it seems unimaginable that such a malfeasant figure is allowed to remain at large. Whatever the truth of his history might be, Shaco has joined the League of Legends for reasons only he knows. He's a terrifying figure, typically shunned by both his fellow champions and the media at large. Only the summoners in the Institute of War know why such a creature was allowed into the league, but most Runeterrans suspect it to be a means that allows the power that be to keep an eye on the ever-elusive Shaco. Unsurprisingly, this champion is popular in places where madness can openly reign, such as among the power-hungry summoners of Zorn and Noxus. Whatever you do, don't tell him you missed the punchline. Well, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I just listened to this whole thing back and I sound super nasal. I'm still not fully over this cold, I don't think. But that being said, I do have one more announcement before I end this video. I'd really like to start streaming soon, and if you guys would want to come along and watch me, that would be great, but I need to know a good way to try and get the word out there to you guys. So I've actually created a Twitter account. You find the description for my Twitter account in the description below, and usually if I start streaming, hopefully I can post on that Twitter, and then you guys can come and watch me. I'll probably be streaming somewhere between something like 10 and 6 GMT maybe, but I'm sure these times will kind of vary until I can get a proper schedule going. So thanks for listening to this announcement, guys. If you want to follow my Twitter, the link, as I say, is in the description below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Really does help me out. I really appreciate all the comments and everything that I've read in my last few videos. And I'll see you again for another video.